Hey there everyone, this is Miss Reniker, and in this video we are going to talk about how to add and subtract decimal numbers. So to get us started, I'm going to pull up a couple examples that will help us understand just how to set up these kinds of problems. So as you can see, I've put two example problems here on the screen for us. The first one is 1 2/10 plus 3 4/10. And the second one is 10 2/10 plus 3 1/10. Okay, so we're going to get started with this first problem over here. 1 2/10 plus 3 4/10, or 1.2 plus 3.4. And a lot of times the problem is going to be given to you like this, kind of written as a straight across equation. In order to solve it, the first thing you want to do is set it up as you would set up your addition problems to solve down, right? So the most important step when you're setting up an addition or subtraction problem with decimal numbers is to make sure that you get those decimals lined up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with both of our problems. So as you can see with this one here, I lined up 1 2/10 and 3 4/10. I lined up my decimal numbers. So the 2 is above the 4 and the 1 is above the 3. With this one over here, you're going to want to make sure that you line up the decimals as well. So the 1 is going to fall directly under the 2. My decimals are in line, and my 3 is right under my 0. Okay. Now, if you had two numbers that were, say, 11.2 plus 4.87. Okay, you might have a question here because it doesn't line up like it would normally line up with an addition problem, right? Normally, what you want to do when you line up addition problems with whole numbers is you want to make sure all the numbers are aligned to the right. But with decimals, it's a little bit different. The most important thing is to make sure those decimals are lined up. So your problem would fall in line like this, and the 7 would stick out here on its own. That's okay. What you do is you go up and you add a 0 above it next to that 2, and now you can solve it. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this problem over here. Let's work through 1 2/10 plus 3 4/10 together. Okay, so I'm going to change the color on my marker real quick. Let's just do a simple black. And let's set it up to solve. So it's just like any other addition problem that we would do. We add straight down. So the 2 plus the 4, that gives us 6. 1 plus 3 gives us 4. And then we want to make sure that we put our decimal point in the middle. We bring that decimal straight down from where it was, okay, to fall in line right here between our numbers. For the next problem, it's going to be the same process. We're going to add straight down. 2 plus 1 gives us what? If you said 3, you would be correct. Zero plus 3 is also going to give us a 3. And 1 plus nothing, or plus 0, is going to be 1, right? And then we bring our decimal down, and it goes right here between our two 3s. I gotta apologize, I'm still working on my handwriting with this mouse. It's a little bit different than if I had a pen, but I hope that you will all bear with me. This number again is 13.3. With this one, we follow the same process. We already put that 0 into place here so that we have enough numbers to correctly add down. 0 plus 7 is going to give us a 0 here. 2 plus 8, that's going to give us 10. So this is where we have to carry some numbers, right? So we would put our 0 here and carry that 1 up here. Now we're adding 1 plus 1 plus 4. gives us 6. And then our 1 plus 0 over here would be 1. So our final answer right here is going to be 16 and 700ths, or 16.07. Okay, so those are just some examples. Now let's take a look at a couple problems from your packet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for us here so that we can apply it directly to the work that you are doing. So if you look under day number 1, the instructions tell us to fill in the blanks in the following equations with a digit between 1 and 9. The answer to each problem should be less than 1. Okay, so right here in problem number 1, what we're looking for is a number that can fit in there that is going to give us an answer that's less than 1, right? So at most, this number right here could be 9. Okay, our answer would be 9. So what can we add? What different numbers can we add to 3/10 to give us an answer that's less than 1? Okay, we could put in there a 4. So 0.3 plus 0.4 would give us 0.7, or 7/10, right? We could put in there a 5. So 3/10 plus 5/10 would give us 8/10. We could even put in there a 6, right? And that would give us 9/10. We cannot go higher than 6 though, because again, our instructions tell us that the answer has to be less than 1. Okay. So like I said, for that one, let's say that I want to put a 4 in there. Okay, I would put my 4. 3/10 plus 4/10 gives me 7/10, because 3 plus 4 is 7, right? It's not greater than 1, so it fits all the directions of this problem, right? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to scroll down, okay? I'm going to erase this from our screen so we can see a little better. We're going to scroll down. Down here, it's asking us to do some subtraction problems. When you set up a decimal subtraction problem, it's the same process as addition. You line up your decimals, right? And then we can go ahead and subtract straight down. So this time, though, our answer should be greater than 0. We don't want a 0, and we don't want anything less than 0. So we know that we can't subtract by anything greater than 3 here. And we also can't subtract by 3, or 3/10, because that would leave us with 0. So that means we either have to put a 2 or a 1 in here. I'm going to go ahead and put a 2, just because I feel like it. And we're going to take 3/10 minus 2/10, which gives us an answer 1/10. Okay? And this meets all of the directions for the problem, which says that the answer has to be greater than 0. My digit is between 1 and 9. It meets all of the standards there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at an example problem from day number 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen here so that we can take a look at it. It is this page right here. Okay, it says day 2 continued. It tells us to roll a dice to generate a 4-digit number that includes tenths and hundredths. Okay, so if you watch the other place value video, tenths would be this place right here, hundredths would be that place right there. Then you're going to complete the subtraction equation below. Okay, if you don't have dice, you can do a random number generator, or you can just fill in digits between 1 and 9. Okay, so I went ahead and I already figured out my numbers here. And my numbers for this problem are going to be 5, 2, 1, and 3, or 52 and 13 hundredths. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up this problem down below for us to solve it. 52.13 minus, 100 minus 52.13 got a little ahead of myself. 100 minus 52.13, and if you look at this, you'll see there's no decimal point right now in the 100. That's okay. We can go ahead and put a decimal and 2 zeros after it, and it does not change the value of our number, but it allows us to do this subtraction a little bit more easily. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get to solving this problem now. All right, we're going to start by looking at the numbers to the far right, 0 minus 3. Can we do 0 minus 3? No. So we got to go next door to the neighbor and borrow, but our neighbor doesn't have anything either. So we got to go to his neighbor, who also doesn't have anything. We also got to go to the next neighbor. They don't have anything either. So finally, we're left at this 1 where we can actually borrow. We're going to make that 1 a 0. Go to the right and make this a 10. Okay, but like we said, we got to borrow from him. So he's going to become a 9. We go to the next 0. The same thing happens. He starts out with a 10, but we got to borrow from him. So he turns into a 9 too. Same thing over here with this 0. Okay, so now all of these are 9s, and my last number over here is a 10. Okay, so we're going to take 10 minus 3, which gives us 7. Then we're going to look at these numbers. I apologize, my writing ran together a little bit, but this is a 9 minus 1, so 9 minus 1 is going to leave us with 8. We got to make sure we bring down that decimal point. That's very important when you're doing decimal subtraction or addition. You need to have that decimal in the answer there. So we bring our decimal down and go over and we look at 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 would be 7. Then we're going to look at the 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 gives us 4. So our final answer here is 47 and 87 hundredths. Okay. If you want to see how that works out on a piece of paper, where my handwriting is just a little bit neater, I also have that right here. Okay. That's how the numbers would work out. And then down at the bottom, our answers would look like this. Okay. All right, so that's how you're going to do a couple of these example problems from your homework for day 1 and day 2. The next video we're going to have will be division, multiplication, and will be decimal, division, and multiplication. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day.